Student Station, Liverpool Radio.
And that was Anton Deck with We're on the Ball. And while I just carry on totting up the scores, we are going to talk about the England World Cup squad. James, you can talk about this if you want, but of course this isn't really going to mean much to you. Unfortunately.
Oh, it's funny because I am Welsh.
Yeah, I know. You're going to be the Robbie Savage of this.
That's literally what he does, Robbie Savage.
Yeah. So now we'll go around the room. What's your thoughts on the England World Cup squad? Good squad?
Super excited for this World Cup squad. I think we're still a bit young and lacking in experience in a few places, but I think give it like 4 years or so, I think we're going to be right up there. But it's promising, this World Cup, I think.
Yeah, I think
we're going to do okay.
I'll add my bit. I think we've got a good mix, actually, of experience and young players. Because I think if the trouble is with having a lot of older players, which we sort of had in the previous 2 World Cups. You know, we had Beckham before, 06. But I mean, we've got Gerrard, we've got Lamps, we've got those more experienced players in the midfield, and Rooney, technically more experienced than the others, but still quite young in comparison to the
28.
28, yeah, under 30, still young. But then we've got rising talents like is Lambert in the squad? Lambert.
Rising talent. He's 32.
I meant in terms of new people in the squad. I know there's ones like that, but what's everyone else's thoughts on it?
It is young, but I wouldn't mind it being younger. Like Chris Smalling's 24 now. He's in the squad. What's he gonna do? What's he done? Whereas I would have had John Stones.
I think.
Personally.
You know yet?
Who's still?
What's your opinion on it, Alex?
Ooh. Oh, did that break?
Yeah.
I'm also super excited like Tom, but I think we haven't got the right manager to utilise. We've got a great squad, but
I give Roy Hodgson a chance.
4 banks of he experiments. Oh no, I'll give him a chance, and I'll eat my heart if we win the World Cup.
One thing,
but he's going to experiment on all these friendlies. But when we get to the World Cup, he will play banks of 4.
Actually, that's a good question. It's like, are you happy with all this sort of experimentation? Do you think they should be leaving it this late to still be experimenting on the squad, or do you think you should have a set lineup by
He'll
now?
know already what he wants to do, and it'll just be.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get the. I don't know. He's not a sort of. England don't pass the ball around. They don't keep hold of the ball. They hoof the ball.
What's James? What do you want to say?
They played ticket-tack football much
They
better
did.
than they've done in the past.
But
Friendly though.
But the trouble is with experimenting too much is that if you experiment and it doesn't work more than it works, surely that's a bad statement. If you experiment too much, you're not really getting anything out of it.
The problem is, Roy, this is from a total outsider's view here. Like, I'm quite a fan of Roy Hodgson, even though as a Liverpool fan I probably shouldn't be. But like, things of him, England were always in the transition phase. I always thought Roy Hodgson was the manager who had to be this transition phase would go for you, because you had this golden generation, the stigma about it, and now like you and like Tom and Alex have said, it's quite an exciting young squad you've got in here. And I think people will go like Roy Hodgson, he's a very traditional manager, he only plays like this kind of football, and then when he tries to experiment, then it's all, he's being too like facetious with his team and all this, and he's not, he should be more traditional and all this. It's like he can't win with really because he's not Harry Redknapp. That's the problem, I think.
Yeah.
That's the big always thought of the problem with Roy Hodgson. I think he's done a brilliant job. I looked at the last squad England played against Italy, and the transition from that squad to this squad is fantastic. And I think it's down to Roy Hodgson giving these players a chance and allowing them to express themselves.
Yeah, what I will say is that he has sort of curated this team.
Yeah.
He could have kept hold of Ferdinand and.
Yeah, well, I think Ferdinand, his days were numbered, to be honest.
He could have kept hold of all these players, but
I think
he's taken Barkley and Flanagan and to the World Cup, not just in the provisional squad. He's taken them to the squad.
I think it's good, the fact that we have got all these more younger players, because Michael Owen played in the World Cup when he was 18. If someone sparkles like that, this could be very promising if we have if all the young players start and actually perform well.
It happened with Rooney in the Euro 2004. He was at us and had the tournament of his life. And
Like, I didn't get the whole argument when they were on about Ashley Cole and Luke Shaw. I did not get that debate at all, because they were saying like, Ashley Cole's got experience, but what's Ashley Cole's experience of going to a World Cup and these major tournaments and being part of a failing squad?
But then
and having to
again,
go back. But Luke Shaw has never been to a World Cup. Luke Shaw's going to treat this with the excitement and the jollity of a young footballer should. And like you said before, Ricky Lambert, this is his last chance in the major tournament. He's going to take it with both hands, which
Yeah.
I'd rather him than say, I don't know, I don't think we've got like an old English striker.
I think
Emil
that's
Heskey, I think, is the next thing.
yeah,
Well, think about it. This is the first World Cup for Joe Hart.
yeah. Actually,
Leighton Baines.
that was the point I was going to say. Is that we've definitely got in terms of World Cup goalkeepers. This is
He
probably,
was there, Tom.
This is probably the strongest goalkeeper
didn't
we've
play.
had for a while.
He
you
didn't
know.
play though. He played in the Euros. Robert Green messed up against USA, and David James played for every other game after.
James.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You took David James to the last World Cup?
yeah.
we did.
And he
Yeah,
played more games. He was great after. He was
David
great in
James is the
games.
one that was playing when we lost to Germany.
Yeah. This is the first World Cup for Joe Hart, Leighton Baines, Gary Cahill, Jagielka, whoever's going to be playing right back, not Glenn Johnson, Jordan Henderson, Ross
No,
Barkley.
Jordan Henderson played the
Uh,
last one, I think.
No.
Jordan Henderson came on against
Actually, I'll say that now because
Oh,
it was
he
in the
might have actually
news. It was on the
scored.
news this morning
Yeah.
that they're experimenting with Milner playing at right
Right
back.
back tonight.
Yeah.
Brilliant decision.
What?
Brilliant decision, I think. It's a great...
Sorry.
I'd take that over Glenn Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I can say Glenn Johnson for the second half of the season has been poor. Do you know what I mean? And again, it's... Yeah, no, I just never know. It's been bizarre, but I think that's the idea of it. It's brilliant that it does try these things, especially these friendlies, which don't mean much, you know. As much people go like, you played Born against like Peru, that's how you're going to be playing against Italy, do you know what I mean? So you got to get used to it, I'm afraid.
But then again, you could say that out of the last few World Cups now, 06 and 2010, Ashley Cole actually did quite well for us.
I mean,
2006, he was brilliant.
he did this job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's good. Like
He's been England's best player for years.
He's been, I'd argue, he's been for a long while England's only real world-class player.
Yeah.
I'd argue.
Yeah, or David Beckham in his time.
In his period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
But
say
certainly out of the last
the
3 years
team-
or so, yes.
the team was full of
35,
world-class people, but Ashley Cole was the only one who actually played like he was world-class.
Hmm.
Gerrard never performed as well as he could for England. Lampard never did.
Because they were all playing
Beckham,
together.
some did. Well, I suppose, but Ashley
That
Cole... what
old
about Ashley
chestnut.
Yeah. Get back together, man.
Cole? I'd love to see them play together now because Gerrard plays in this deeper role and put
Yeah.
Lampard up, but back then they used to play both.
If you played a midfielder Lampard and Gerrard against like someone like Uruguay, you'd get mauled up just due to pace.
yeah.
You can't play them together now at all. It's a sad thing, but like unfortunately that's going to be one of those things that never happened.
Well, I think it's going to be Gerrard and Henderson. So-
I think it's going to be interesting to see how certainly Gerrard and Suarez behave against each other. They're big. They get on well. They're at the same club. And they've had this fantastic success. But you know what the World Cup can do. Somebody, Rooney and Ronaldo. In 2006, big friends had that little moment in the World Cup and he got sent off, and Ronaldo blatantly made the ref send him off. And and it's going to be interesting to see. But also, you could say, good is it? Do you think it's good that we actually the England squad has got quite a lot of Liverpool players in it?
It's a good mix of like
Good mix, yeah.
Liverpool and some like
Southampton and
obviously
Everton.
younger element.
No Spurs players, in fact.
Yeah, good because Spurs don't crap.
What England players do Spurs have?
Kyle Walker.
Townsend.
Townsend was like literally
I
just
think
like.
Townsend was a tiny bit unlucky.
Defoe. Oh no, he left.
Defoe's
didn't
at
he?
Toronto FC,
Toronto
maybe.
now, yeah.
I think it's promising though. Like I mean, the Liverpool, the team that came second in the league, have got quite a fair bit of it. Southampton have had a fantastic season and played some.
Oh,
brilliant-
yeah, yeah.
And played some brilliant football.
Oh, what's his name? Lallana?
Yeah, Adam
Southampton?
Lallana.
I was surprised Jay Rodriguez didn't go.
No, he got injured.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
He would have gone. He would have gone. I thought.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck is very lucky.
Yeah. Oh.
Because if
Yeah.
Jay Rodriguez is not injured, Danny Welbeck's not going.
Mm. I got him.
I honestly don't mind Welbeck. I think he puts like his work.
Hard worker.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Final decision, maybe not so
Not
great.
great.
But the trouble is that he never has like a medium, an average game. He's either brilliant or he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
He never has that bit in between. That's probably you could say with some of the old England players in the past. Either that we're brilliant or we're naff.
Yeah,
we're
we
not
can't
in the
say.
middle.
I read an interview with Danny Welbeck though, and he speaks very highly of Roy Hodgson. So I think there's
Oh, yeah,
something
I think-
about it. Like I think Roy Hodgson. I think Roy Hodgson's one of those managers that clearly likes Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
And like, I think even Danny Welbeck admits himself he plays better for England than he does for United at times.
Well, there's also been a lot more rotation in the Man U squad. That's one thing. And also, yeah, I didn't really come here to talk about Man United, but
Not for the season anyway.
But no, going back to that whole how Gerrard and Suarez
Yeah.
took each other, you did the Rooney-Ronaldo comparison. I think Rooney and Ronaldo were really, really young when that happened.
yeah, but it was
Gerrard and
still
Suarez, they're
still
like,
stupid though. You know, it's just not really the sort of thing you
Yeah,
should do
but
at a World Cup. But
It's unlikely going to happen between Suarez and Gerrard. They're less
Yeah.
towards each other.
It'll be
Anyway.
interesting to see how they play against each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
If they came up 1-on-1, Suarez would win any day. Although, because he's just faster. But I think Gerrard wouldn't hurt him because he cares too much more about Liverpool than,
But
he
also-
does England. I'm just saying.
but also
If
I
he had
think
the chance to break Suarez's leg to stop him, he wouldn't do it, would he?
yeah, but no, if it was Gerrard, he'd slip over.
Right.
I can come back. 'Cause I've got more in my locker, trust me. But anyway, yeah, that was a good conversation, I think. That. But
Say he's
we're
seventh.
now.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
totted up the scores. I've totted up the scores of round one before James actually stops laughing.
He just had a pop at you.
The trouble is, good job I didn't hear it then. The thing is,
Excuse me, young man.
the good thing is that actually you two are laughing. You two look like you're taking it properly seriously.
This is.
You came to win.
We need to
The scores can change.
Yeah,
we
right.
need to go around and pick
Scores.
our, England 11 before we.
The scores.
I'm really good at this one.
Alex and James, you are on 14. You are currently in the lead. But Blackmore and Schofield, you are not too far away. You are on 9.
Not too far away. It's almost the third.
There's a lot of points still left in this, and there is a lightning round at the end, which could be pivotal at this stage. So actually, that's a good point. Have a think out of which of you two would probably be better at describing. That's the only clue I'm saying, and that's my phone that's making that noise. But
Still recording.
I did GCSE drama.
GCSE drama.
Safe.
that might be important.
Can we do a play?
Yes.
Right.
I will
Round
always
two.
be Ruben's wife.
Round 2 is
Are we still recording?
yeah, it's still recorded. Who am I?
Cameron Snook. He's got Benny Moore in his locker, boys. We go again. We don't fucking slip, boys.
I don't know where to go with that. Round 2. Who am I? Right. As I asked Alex and James last time, I'm going to ask Tom over here. 1 or 2?
1.
Right. You have the first description. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 clues. Okay? Or maximum of 5 clues. And all you have to do is guess the legendary World Cup player that I am describing. And the way it's going is that I will give the first clue, and if you get it on that one, you will get 5 points. And obviously it will decrease the more clues that you have. And so, 5th clue, you will only have 1 point available. Okay?
I understand.
That sounds fair enough, yeah? Just bring the microphone a bit closer to you guys.
Okay.
Or as
Are you like Stu Barker?
it does feel like a little bit like a question of sport.
Sue the Baker. I don't know. Sue Barker. Yeah.
That's close enough, it doesn't matter. First clue. As a player, I played 48 times in my country and scored 33 goals. Are you going to guess now or have another clue?
Another clue.
I finished second with my team in the World Cup in 1974.
No, it's not. Completely wrong.
Okay, another clue.
Okay, so you've had 2 clues, so you've got 3 available for this one. I am famous for a special football move.
Is it Cruyff? Johan Cruyff.
It is Johan Cruyff. You get 3 points. Well done.
What?
Now they're on 12.
Oh God.
Not so far behind now.
I bet you they get it in 5 now.
We'll go Darius Vassell.
Oh my God.
I am a god.
It is not Darius Vassell.
I once put out a blister with a drill, which is what he did. He legit. Darius Vassell injured himself because he used an electronic drill to burst a blister.
What? Why?
Because he's an idiot. Because he's Darius Vassell.
You can hear an extended view of James Dunn's view on Darius Vassell in an extra podcast.
Vassell cast. Fire up the Darius Vassell.
Right, let's do yours now.
Vassell's upside your head.
Right,
Go on.
away from the ridiculous puns.
Shut up, like.
First, first clue. Come on, let's get back to reality now.
Because Darius Vassell.
I was born. I was born on September the 11th, 1945 in
Jesus,
Munich.
I thought that was me.
1945.
5, yes.
1945.
Are you going to have a guess now,
No.
or
No.
another clue?
I would have said Alessandro Del Piero because I also share a birthday with him, but he's not that old.
He might be.
Oh, is he?
Go on.
Are you going to have another clue? Okay. I have played 103 times for West Germany. Are you going to guess now, or are you going to have another clue?
Should we go for another?
45. That means in the
You really-
66 World Cup he would have been 21. And I'm sure he was
That makes sense.
103 times as king. Kaiser.
Yeah. Should we
Who
go
else
for
is the
another?
famous West Germany from
Yeah.
German from then?
Should I'll think back. Should we go for it?
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
expect Paul. Go on.
Beckenbauer.
Beckenbauer is correct. Well done. So you get 4 points there.
That Kaiser.
Born on my birthday.
You get 4 points there. So the scores on the doors as we stand, we are on, Tom are on 12, and Alex and James are roaring in front of the minute on 18.
Your student station, Hooperville Radio.